What's up, guys? Spacelord here. Today I want to talk about toxic gamers and just toxicity in gaming in general. This is kind of a topic that it really bothers me. I think it's a big problem, honestly. Now, this is something that only really affects multiplayer games, obviously. I mean, if you're sitting there playing a game single player and you're raging or whatever, I don't know, that's kind of related. But what I'm really wanting to think about today is, when you're playing a multiplayer game and you start raging and acting like a complete dick to other people playing the game. Now, personally, the first time I experienced this kind of stuff was when I used to play StarCraft 2 very seriously and very competitively. And so as you move up the ladder, if you're doing like 2v2s or something, you would get a teammate who, if you made a mistake or something, would get pissed off. But mostly it wasn't really a thing in StarCraft because it was 1v1. I mean, that's the main mode in which you play, so it was never really a problem so much. But the attitude I had about the game and about gaming in general when I took the game very seriously and was competitive, I think is kind of related. Because part of the problem is when you start taking gaming very seriously. Now, I guess from a certain standpoint, I still do take gaming seriously. I mean, I have a channel where I talk about video games and I deal with video games. And I think video games are a very good thing. And I will gladly defend video game and video game culture against, the SJWs and feminists who are currently trying to ruin it. But at the end of the day, video games are a hobby. They're an entertainment. They're something that should be there to bring us happiness, for fun. Of course, the most toxic game is League of Legends. This game, it should be called like League of Legendary Toxicity, because people who have never played the game, who virtually know nothing about it, know about how toxic the League of Legends community is. And it's really something that's kind of shared in MOBAs in general. I have seen a lot of toxic people in Smite as well, nowhere near as much as in League of Legends, but it does have its share, especially in Conquest, which is sort of like the main, competitive mode. It's the mode that has, people play ranked and whatever. So it's, super try hard mode. That's where you get the most toxicity. And I've caught myself feeling this way at times as well, when I've played the game. But let me step back to StarCraft 2, alright? And this is how it kind of fits together. When I was playing StarCraft 2, this is the only game that I really, took seriously to the point that I thought I want to be high ranked, this is important. And it's stupid to me looking back on it now. But I became very obsessed with that game. Like, I was very, very concerned with my ranking and how I was performing, so I would follow every patch note, and I would constantly practice, that's how I thought of it. I didn't think of myself anymore as playing the game, but as practicing and trying to get better. And in a certain way, it was fun. I mean, I was on a competitive team. I was on the B team. I wasn't good enough to be on their A team, but I was on their B team, and we constantly practiced to get better and better. But the problem was, StarCraft, if you haven't played it, is one of the most difficult and frustrating games in the entire world. It's a game where if you make a tiny mistake for a millisecond, you can lose the entire game. And so it's kind of like building a house of cards in speed mode. So you're constantly on edge, and you're constantly your adrenal glands are stressed out and stuff. So, you would, me and Taco used to talk about this all the time. Like, you play a game of StarCraft, and after you get done, you're exhausted. Like, it would, you would physically feel drained and emotionally feel drained because it required so much concentration. And so anyway, I got really serious about this game to the point that when I lost, like one time I lost, I got so mad, I threw a cup at the wall and I just blew a giant chunk of the drywall out, and you know, I smashed stuff, and like I was, and it's embarrassing to admit it, but you know, I'm kind of an open book, you know, for my channel, but I acted like a complete ass, like an idiot, you know. Here I am smashing stuff. I'm you know, setting a bad example for my kids and my family stuff. I'm acting like an asshat over a video game. So that's when I quit playing that game. And you know, it wasn't until the recent release came out that is like really the first time I've played it since then. And I'm not playing it at all competitively. I'm not, you know, I'm just playing it casually. I'm playing through the campaign and stuff. I'm just playing to have some fun with it. Now in Smite, I played a little bit. You know, I got into the game. I love Smite. You guys know this. It's one of my favorite games. And so I got a little bit into the competitive side of it. And as I started creeping up, I noticed more and more toxicity the more I got into the competitive. And so, you know, these two things are definitely related, because when you play on Assault, which is the most casual, you know, mode, whatever, you know, it's just a whatever game. You just play it for fun, right? When you play in that mode, nobody really cares what you do. Like, you can play really badly and stupidly, and most people will just laugh about it because it's a 10-minute match. It doesn't really matter. You don't really get anything for winning or losing, and so it's just for fun. But, you know, I found myself in competitive Smite, too, you know, where you would play and you would see someone just doing stuff so stupid, and you just want to rage at them. You want to ask them, you know, like, are you retarded? You know, you need to uninstall the damn game. Never play this game again. You're so terrible, you know, and all this stuff. And a few times I did rage out on people. And that's also why I quit. That's part of the reason why I quit playing Conquest, and I quit playing Smite, you know, like seriously, and I just play super casual mode. A lot of people ask why, since I play so much Smite, do I play, you know, just super casual style instead of try to play competitively or whatever. And that's why. And that's why, because I don't want myself to be toxic. I refuse to allow myself to be toxic. Now, for you guys who do play multiplayer games and you play competitively, you know, you're going to have to deal with this. And I really, really want to just encourage you to not give in to the toxicity. If you're playing a multiplayer game like League of Legends or anything else where you are depending on teammates, there will be times when people play worse than you. All right? And it's not because they're stupid or whatever. They're just not as good as the game as you. There's always going to be people who are not as good as you. Likewise, there's going to be people, you know, if you compared yourself, you know, pick your multiplayer game. If you compared yourself to pros, and if, let's say it was a 5v5 game and you were on, you know, you replaced one of those pro players, you would look like absolute trash. You would look so bad in that game, and the other 4 players would say you need to go uninstall and go, you know, go kill yourself. You know, people say shit like that. I hope you get AIDS and die. You know, people always say this, you know, crazy shit at the end of these games. It's like, really? You know, and I know they're just being, you know, they're just being hyperbolic. They're just exaggerating because they're in rage mode. But still, the shit that comes out of some people's mouth, man, is just terrible. It's really terrible. I don't know. I think, you know, here's the thing, you know, right now we as gamers, you know, we're getting assaulted by the social justice warriors. There's a reason why Dead or Alive isn't coming to the West. There's a reason why Street Fighter now has to get censored and edited. There's a lot of shit going on, and there's no reason for us to sort of be raging on each other. Save that rage for people that are trying to screw up video games. All right? That could be the subject of a whole nother video. But at the end of the day, remember, you're probably not going to be a pro player. And even if you are, even still, it doesn't matter. It's, at the end of the day, it's a game. Even pro players, the vast majority of them do not make that like a lifelong career. They do it for a couple years and then they go to college and they do something else, right? So I don't care how good you are at the game, how important it is. You got to keep perspective, man. You got to keep your cool, because, you know, you going into rage mode because you lost a match, Think about how that's going to look to you 5 years from now. It's going to seem stupid. It's going to seem silly. You can't let yourself get so emotionally invested in these games that you become miserable. You got to remember, games, they're for fun, man. They're for fun. If you're not having fun playing a game, you need to play a different game, all right? If you're getting so stressed out and so ragey over your game, just take a break for a few days and play something else and chill out. Don't play, because you're just going to be even more pissed off. You're going to rage on your teammates. You're just going to be a dick. You're going to be a dick to your friends. Everyone's going to hate you, and it's just not worth it. Because at the end of the day, we're just clicking buttons and watching, little polygons move around. That's it. All right, that's all I have to say about that, guys. It's just something that's kind of come up a lot, and I do play a MOBA, I do play Smite, and so it's something that I really think needs to stop. And I realize a lot of it's from younger guys, but you know what? I got a lot of younger guys that listen to this channel. So if you're a person that rages and toxics, and you go off on people and you tell them they need to kill themselves and uninstall the game, you need to chill, man. You just need to chill. It's not going to help you. And in fact, it's not going to help your game either. That's the thing, is whenever someone in a multiplayer game starts going full on toxic, usually everybody starts playing worse and everything spirals downhill from there. If somebody's doing something stupid in a game, just give them constructive feedback. Say, hey, it'll work a lot better if you do this. When I first started playing Smite, I was really terrible. I was really bad, obviously, right? Because I was new to the game. And one thing I didn't realize is that, you're not supposed to sort of chase kills and go up and, die a lot. That dying is really bad. And I had a couple people rage on me, and I just told them, fuck you, whatever. Because, they would just say things like, you're a retard, blah, blah. So I came back -2. And then I think it was around like my 10th game or something when I was playing, there was a guy and he said, hey, man, he goes, you're dying kind of a lot. Why don't you try to play safe? And I said, well, I was trying to, and and basically he gave me some good advice, and I listened to him, and I became a much better Smite player, and we ended up winning that game. So when you see someone doing something you don't like and is making you mad, try to calm yourself, take a breath, and then politely suggest a good course of action. They may listen to you, and then you will be a better player because of it. If they don't listen to you, then there's nothing you can do. But you shouldn't let it affect your own emotions. You can't let it screw you up and make your life miserable. All right, that's it. That's all I gotta say about that. Have fun with your game, guys, and I'll see you next time. Hey dudes, thanks for watching. If you want to catch all my videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you'd like to help support me and be part of the creation process, then hit that Patreon button. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.